In the last episode, woke up in the suspended outpost of the Hanami forest covered in hungover chungies. Pushing them off, Felix and Ironhammer rose out of their cots to see Trip no longer in his. Instead, they were met by Penelope. A combination of Scarlet and Trip's personalities now come together in the body of a graying man with purple eyes. Taking it all in, including a face full of dookie, the three left their hut and immediately ran into Stenwick Bosper, the New Haven guards sent to assist them in their astral hunt. Relieved to see the group alive, Bosper invited them all to breakfast at the Outpost Cafe. After being served by Duvin, the local chef, aka Leuven the librarian's younger brother, Stenwick drilled into the boys, demanding immediate answers for what he saw at Bromnus' hut, as well as the current condition of Tank 2, aka Ravioli. Off-put by each other's attitudes, but appreciative of the honesty, they eventually came to an agreement to work together. Now tasked with finding whoever is lost out in the woods by Captain Rogers, the Astral Surveillance Squad hit the trail once again. Welcome back to Retrograde, a D&D campaign by Fudged Roll. I am your prison papa, Derek Day, and joining me is Andrew Akers. Andrew, please unmute.
He's still muted.
He still won't do it.
He's still fucking muted.
Ian Jones and Jesse Wagner.
Hello.
That's enough fun for today.
Did Ty get an introduction? I didn't hear you say his name, but I was distracted.
Ty Sheets. And he waved. Thank you.
I'm gonna roll a 1d6 to determine which beer I'm gonna drink first.
Are you already drunk?
Oh fuck yeah, bud.
So you guys, the three of you are already on the ground below the outpost, and Jesse is still currently an Eagle.
I'm just kind of scouting out to see if I can't get some information before like my group walks blindly into a group of fucking Astros.
Just from a quick inspection up north, northeast or so, you saw the giant cherry blossom tree along with the pool of water feeding into a stream. If you can roll me an investigation.
18.
First, let me ask, how far do you go away from your group?
So when I leveled up to level 6, I now can stay in B shape for 3 hours. So I would say I'm at least a mile ahead of my group, but I'm flying so I can see down. So I've got a pretty good vantage point. I've got a bird's eye view, as they say.
Yeah, I'll say you guys are traveling for not too long, maybe an hour or so. And Felix, you're able to spot, you can spot the rolling hills off to the east that Captain Rogers mentioned earlier, where he thinks the survivors may be. You can see some movement in the brush up north in that general vicinity. To the south in the sea, you have not been there yet. However, you can spot some movement in the water.
While we're walking, can I mix together a potion?
Yeah, that's fine.
Does he do this often? Turn into things? Can he turn into anything? Or just a bird?
I ignore him.
Oh.
He turned into some different things in the past. I think he was a horse once, or maybe like a donkey, like a jackass, but I don't really remember.
As the three of you are traveling on foot, the trail starts to fade away a bit, and you get more of the foliage, as well as there are hills starting to appear in front of you. Can one of you guys roll me a perception? And Felix, can you roll me an acrobatics?
I rolled a nat 1.
I also rolled a nat 1.
No way.
Yep. We don't see shit, and Felix is falling out of the sky.
Felix, I'm going to say you're a little closer to your pals on the ground. Flying around, you've noticed more movement in the brush up ahead. But as you start to circle around a bit, you take a spear in the dead center of your eagle body.
Okay, so when I take damage, I turn back into Felix.
what happens is you take this spear in the middle of your feathered body, and falling 50 feet, you transform into Felix with a spear still plunged in your body, and you land with a dull thud as you take 28 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're not dead.
Wait a minute. So the spear's still in me?
No, I'm going to say that the spear is not fully embedded in your body anymore. Like, it's not going through your back, but it is a couple inches deep in your sternum.
Okay.
So, and then on ground, Penelope and Stenwick, you both see a bird get hit, plummet out of the sky, transform it back into Felix in the middle of falling, and land up in front of you. Ironhammer with a 1. You were more distracted by something that you saw on your left. You didn't even notice Felix fall. However, you end up tripping on some tree roots on the ground, and you take 3 points of damage.
I guess my fall wasn't quite as bad.
I'm going to run to where Felix had fallen, and I'm going to pull my shield out and start prepping.
Did I see whatever threw the spear at me, or did I just fucking take a spear and go to the ground?
You know that from the angle that you were hit, that it definitely came from somewhere around north, somewhere in that movement in the brush.
I'm going to, well, I guess I'll address the group and tell them basically that I took a spear from the north. There's movement ahead in the brush.
Jesus. Are you fucking okay?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of hurts a little bit. If someone wants to remove this spear from my sternum, that'd be cool.
His eyeball's just hanging out.
And then
I walk over and just rip the spear out.
Oh, fuck.
oh god, that's gnarly.
On a side note, on a side note,
Side note.
just because I want to be like clear on this. So is Penelope your true form, Ty, or
How many more we got?
I'm so fucking confused here.
It's not his final
It's
form.
a combination of Trip and Scarlet, but like, is that your true form, or is there like a fourth Super Saiyan out there?
The final form.
Is this Frieza third form, or is this perfect Frieza?
Well, you never know. I could turn into Golden Freezer later on.
Oh shit.
It is the end all currently. It's pretty much like Steve Rogers before he became the super soldier. So I was Penelope, I was small and tiny and everything. Took the super serum, buffed up into big Penelope.
I was thinking more like the Hulk, but that works too. I would never in any world compare Scarlet to Captain America.
Well, that's Trip and Scarlet are like, the potion was messed up and it turned me into like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of deal.
For some reason, I feel like you're still going to be sadistic, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess.
Penelope, you are able to easily peel the spear out of Felix's chest, not taking any more damage. However, he will need to be mended.
Can I look around?
So after I rip it out, can I help him up and then offer him a health potion? Here you go, buddy. And just give him a little pat on the back.
Stenwick, you can take a look around. You have your shield and crossbow armed and ready. I'm not going to make you roll. You don't notice anything coming for you.
You said you saw what direction that spear came from?
I said it came from the north.
Well, maybe that's the direction we should head, just carefully.
While we're doing this, I'm gonna pick a couple berries from my staff.
I did give you a health potion.
Oh, okay. What did I get from that?
2d4 plus 2.
7 points of restoration from that.
We'll say that closes a little bit of the gap that you have in your chest now, but you still have a little bit of bleeding. Ironhammer, are you doing anything once you stand back up?
Nah, I'm just chilling.
Did you fall? That's pretty embarrassing.
Happens more than you would think.
All right, so are we moving toward the people with spears who were trying to just kill a bird?
Wait, is the spear still here? Does it look like the spear that the Astro used last time?
Yeah,
Same
the
kind.
spear was still in me, and we ripped it out. So can we compare it?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just a typical wooden spear. There's nothing really special about it, but it does look the same.
I'm gonna keep the spear.
Okay.
I'm due for a little payback.
Stenwick, can you roll me an investigation?
8.
So what you notice when you turn over to Ironhammer to embarrass him over his fall is a pretty giant tree to your left with like a carved out hole in the center of the trunk, as well as a rotted wooden sign posted above it.
I'm going to walk over and try to read it.
If you can roll me a history.
15.
So Stenwick, I'd say you're pretty well read. You know a couple different languages other than your own.
I do.
However, this one you don't recognize at all. You don't know whether it's the language or if it's just because the sign is just so rotted.
Hey, can any of you guys read this?
Then I walk over and just like kind of feel it like Braille.
Yeah, you know exactly what it says.
Why did we never try that before?
Unfortunately, even with that, the sign is very, very old and there's so many crevices.
So this is nothing any of you guys have seen before. How old does it look?
Does it look like the same text from Illuminique?
Yeah, so Penelope, I don't know how much you know about this anymore, but Ironhammer and Felix, you guys recognize it is similar to the inscriptions as the metal plaques in Illuminique. And Stenwick, the sign looks to be pretty old. I'd say a couple dozen years old.
Are there any arrows or anything that seem to indicate a particular direction?
I mean, the inscriptions, you could maybe think it's arrow-like. However, it looks like it's just trying to designate whatever is inside of this tree.
Can I look inside of the hole?
Yeah, do you have any vision?
Any special kind of vision? No.
It's pretty dark inside. What you can tell is there are very old bones scattered along the floor.
Hey, one of you dwarves, you guys are able to see better in the dark. Do you notice anything in here? It looks like there's bones or body parts or something, but I can't make most of it out.
I find that assumption kind of racist.
I'm sorry. Are dwarves not able to see better in the dark than people?
Oh no, we can.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to pipe up and say that the inscription looks really similar to stuff we saw before we fought the last astral. And there were also a lot of bones around their house. So...
Their house. Are there any signs of like an astral realm? We did just get like shot out of the sky.
yeah.
Are there astral tracks?
If you can roll, I guess, nature check, survival check.
16.
Yeah, I'll say you can notice a couple different pairs of astral-looking footprints. They have pretty distinct tracks, but there's nothing distinct about the movement. It seems to just be
Aimless wandering.
aimless wandering. Yeah, I mean, not like anybody's like specifically going to this tree.
Does anyone have anything that can start a fire?
I have torches.
I also have torches.
I think I have a tinderbox.
Yeah. Does anyone have a tinderbox?
I do actually. Yep, tinderbox.
So the potion I just made was oil.
That's not a potion.
Fuck it.
Can I just like rip off like the bottom of my pants and just like stuff it in the potion and light it on fire and throw it into the hole?
Are we about to make a Molotov cocktail?
I mean, if he's got the ingredients.
Fucking
You know
right.
what?
Are you doing this without telling us what you're doing?
I mean, I could send like the flame sphere into the hole.
Yeah, but this
also
doesn't take a spell slot.
I can also see in the dark, like both of us can. So
No, I can actually get behind this. Let's do it. So I'm gonna, with my tinderbox, light his pant leg that's sticking out of the potion jar or whatever, and I'm gonna step very far back just in case.
Why'd you use your pants?
Well, I have chainmail on, so it's not like I.
Okay. There was nothing else you could light on fire. Only your pants.
it's just like a piece of his pants. It's not his whole pants.
Nope. Imagining the whole pants.
Yeah, pants are totally off.
It's a very, very long.
Felix has a buddy now.
That chain armor is definitely gonna change.
So who's planning on chucking this bomb?
Oh, it's Penelope all the way. I'm backing up, and then I'm pulling out my crossbow again, and then just pointing it at the tree in case this thing like spooks anything out of it.
I cast thaumaturgy and make the fire turn neon pink.
First, Penelope, how far back are you standing?
Well, I mean, I was gonna like toss it in from like 10 feet away and then like book it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I won't make you roll for that then. I was going to say if you were 50 feet away, you'd have to aim.
No, I was tossing it in.
So everybody stepping back, Penelope about 10 feet away, you can light this bottle of oil with a piece of your pants and Stenwick's fire starter. Underhand, chucking it inside the hole because it's a pretty big hollow. You can immediately see before it detonates multiple corpses of Chungies, as well as some tools reminiscent to what you've seen from the astral you fought the day before in the berry patch. However, once the cocktail enters the tree, it will hit the backside of the trunk and just erupt with a burst of neon pink flame shooting out of the hole in the side of the tree. It's pretty old and dry, so it'll start to catch fire pretty fast. But what you also notice is the floor inside the tree, the soil immediately drops below, and you can no longer see the bodies or the tools. And there is now a pretty giant tree on fire.
Do we want to stick around here? Do we want to back up and maybe this will draw something and then we could try to ambush it?
I feel like we should have checked if there was anything useful in the tree before we burned it down. Maybe some conveniently placed plot points.
Did we all notice that it seemed to drop lower, or just Penelope?
You can all see it now. Now that it was light inside, you can see the soil immediately fall.
Does that look like it leads somewhere? You guys are seeing what I'm seeing, right? Is that like an entrance to something?
Very well, but might have to wait a little bit before we can check it out.
Yeah, I think we should take up defensive positions around here, and just in case anything is drawn in by the smoke and the fire, we can try to take it out quickly or do whatever we're going to do.
Did we hear any screaming or like pain from us throwing a fucking Molotov cocktail into the home?
I mean, there was a lot of fluttering of birds and insects escaping from the branches, but inside, no, it just seemed to be dead.
It didn't sound like anything was in there.
No, like Ironhammer mentioned with the tracks, astrals may have been here, but as far as you know, it's not a concern of theirs.
What direction was the people that they wanted us to help? Are we close to there?
Based off what Captain Rogers said, you'd imagine you're pretty close. It's a little more to the east, though.
Do we want to sit here and wait for this thing to stop burning, or do we want to start heading in the direction of where people need us?
I mean, if we want to just let the fire go unattended, we can. It's up to you guys. Does anyone have anything that is resistant to fire?
My body is resistant to fire.
I mean, I have a water skin with water in it. Water's pretty resistant to fire.
My body's actually resistant to fire.
Oh.
How are you resistant to fire?
Forge cleric, level 6. It's true. I wasn't joking when I said that.
That's fucking wild. I'm not gonna lie.
I can also cast protection on energy on one person to make them also, I believe, resistant to fire. If a buddy wants to come into the tree with me.
Resistant is not the
I'm
same.
resistant to poison, so
It's not the same as immune, but we would take half damage if we wanted to try and investigate before the tree burns down.
Walking into a raging inferno, even half of a raging inferno, just doesn't sound good.
But is it raging right now?
It's still pretty hot pink inside.
Damn. Even my body can't handle the pink.
We can always just get back. I don't think this place is going to be very hard to find.
you hear the giant burning tree on fire.
We're just to the bottom, just find the bonfire.
I mean, if the people who need us, if that ends up being, a matter of if it's a time thing where we should probably get there sooner rather than later, then we should probably be on our way there.
Probably. I agree.
So I'm just gonna start walking that direction. We can come back.
Just to clear something up, this tree was where we were at when I fell, or did we walk after I fell?
You fell like a dozen or so feet in front of, past the tree, I should say. Ironhammer stumbled and tripped in front of it.
Okay, so the spear definitely didn't come from the vicinity of the tree.
No. It would have been further ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm all for going forward because I'm pissed.
Further ahead, as in
Someone murdered my majestic eagle body.
As in the direction you guys are heading, yeah.
cool.
Yeah, north.
I thought it was east.
Northeast.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do that.
Good.
I'm gonna keep my shield up and my crossbow out, just in case. And I want to scan the area ahead.
All right, so continuing about more east than north, you guys can travel another couple miles, and Stenwick, with your arms drawn, could you roll me a perception?
16.
It's pretty silent for this time of the day. Birds fluttering from the forest fire behind you.
Oh, it's an actual forest fire now?
Eventually.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry, we can just blame it on the Astrals.
But what Stenwick, what you notice is there's a couple cherry blossom trees scattered around, so they're not really interesting. It's mainly just all greenery. But what you can see to your left are a bunch of overgrown foliage of different colors, mainly green, but there's some autumnal colors too.
Do they seem natural?
Depending on the context. Do they seem like real flowers? Yes. Do they seem natural to this land? No.
Hey, eyes up. Kind of looks a little bit different over there. I think we should spread out a little bit.
I'm gonna pull out both of my swords. The dildo sword and the long sword and the other one.
That is the weirdest weapon I've ever seen.
It's got a nice grip to it. You wanna hold it, try it out?
Maybe some other time.
Just grip it firmly by the shaft.
Can I bring it close to your face and be like, you know, like it's cold when you bring it close to you? I want it right up in his face.
That is very big and very black. How about we focus on this other stuff for now, and then maybe we can talk more about your whatever that is later.
Sounds good.
Stenwick, like you pointed out, there's a weird cove of bushes and grass on the side of these hills. Above you are some more trees, and it's pretty well hidden from the canopy.
How large of an area are we talking here?
I'd say at least a 20 by 20, pretty decent sized.
Are there any rocks near me?
Yeah, there's plenty on the path.
Hold up. I am going to try something. Let's stay spread out. Keep your eyes and weapons trained on anything that might come out of there. And I'm going to pick some of these stones up and whip one or two of them in the direction of where this foliage is. See if I can stir anything up inside.
Yeah, if you want to roll me a hit.
Natural 18 plus 3.
You can toss the first stone in. Nothing too strong. It just kind of bounces off shouldn't say bounce. It just kind of goes into the brush. You don't hear anything else. You whip another one in, and it sounds like it hits stone.
I think we found ourselves an entrance to something.
Ironhammer. Let's do Ironhammer. Can you roll me a perception?
Sure can. Redemption. 16. I can see you again.
Let's do the same with Penelope. Also a perception.
Druid one. Felix, do you notice any, do you recognize any of these flowers? Do they seem familiar to you at all?
Do I recognize any of these flowers?
Yeah, I'd say you recognize all of them. They're pretty common bushes on the mainland, but here, this is the only place you've seen them.
Right, it seems out of place because everything foliage-wise has been cherry blossom.
I rolled a 15, by the way.
Ironhammer, what you notice is when Stenwick threw the rocks into this foliage, it kind of stuttered a bit. Like the bushes themselves almost looked like they phased in and out. Penelope, you noticed a little bit of movement atop the hill.
Do I see it enough to like make out? Am I just seeing movement? Can I see a shape?
No shape, just the movement of the large ferns above you.
I know we all kind of spread out for this, but who's close to me?
Yeah, do you guys want to set up like not a marching order, but like a defensive stance?
I was kind of closest to the ferns, I guess, because I was throwing rocks. But I want to be close enough to a tree where I still have partial cover.
I mean, are we trying to be like sneaky?
Yeah, I imagine like Felix and Ironhammer are going to be closer to the back because we're fucking dwarves and we're fucking heavy. But
Makes sense to me.
dwarves aren't known for their stealth.
This is
So
true.
I'm also wearing plate armor, so I have disadvantage on all stealth rolls.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess Stenwick and we can be up closer to it, and then the other guys can take the rear.
I can get rid of that door. It's because we think that thing's like an illusion. I can dispel that. I can try to dispel it.
You're the only one person who knows that it's an illusion. Or
I
thinks
tell
it's-
you guys that's an illusion.
Do the hills look artificial? Like, do they look like they're natural hills, or do they look like there's a structure underneath?
You would have to roll me a nature check.
Only a 7.
Stenwick, as far as you know, it's just everything seems normal to you. The bushes seem out of place, but that's about it.
So you said that you think it's an illusion and you can dispel it? I'm sorry, I don't really understand how this whole magic thing works. This is all very new to me. It's very odd.
If we think it's useful, I can get rid of the door, the illusion door. Maybe I can try,
It might be worth a shot.
but it does blow one of my 3rd level spell slots. All right, I'll do it. I cast a spell magic on the illusion.
You just blew a 3rd level spell.
Yes.
You probably could have just walked through it.
Yeah, but we don't know what's inside there. Could be billions, trillions.
Ironhammer, using dispel magic from the rear, you see the individual leaves slowly start to disperse and disappear in almost a puff of smoke as the red, orange, yellow foliage disappears, and what you see is almost an alcove cut into the side of this hill, and currently it is just dark.
Can I see into it since I have dark vision?
Yes, if you can roll me a perception.
I rolled a 13.
I rolled a 12.
Yes, what you both can notice in the far corner of this alcove is a small foot as it dips into the shadows. You can't see what exactly is in there, but you do know there is something in there.
Does it look like an astral foot or just like a person foot or like an animal foot?
Just a disembodied foot.
It is some kind of person foot. It's not an astral.
Oh, wait, there's a person in there.
I'm going to cast
Let's get him.
find traps just to make sure we don't fucking like die walking in there. So you sense the presence of any trap within range that is within the line of sight. A trap for the purpose of this spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator. Thus, the spell would sense any area affected by the alarm spell, a glyph of warning, or a mechanical pit trap. But it would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor, an unstable ceiling, or a hidden sinkhole. So do I sense any traps?
Felix, you do not sense any traps at all. However, you do feel the weight of a pretty strong magical aura coming from this area.
Okay, so I sense a magical aura, but I don't see any traps.
Nope, you don't feel anything dangerous, but there is something that is creating that illusion.
Might be the disembodied foot. I mean, this guy knows we're here now since we just blew up his door. It's an illusion. So I guess we should just walk up to him non-threateningly.
I can't see anything, right? Because it's dark in here.
Right.
Do you two want to
Or
go
do you
in
want
and take a
stay
look
stealthy,
around?
stealthy?
Do you want us all to go in together? Because if so, I'm gonna have to light one of these things.
Well, Andrew, don't you still have your like glowy blood? Would that cast less light than a torch?
Remembering this all on my own, Stenwick pulls out
Sudden burst of inspiration.
Stenwick pulls out his jar, one of his glass jars of the fish blood, and shakes it up.
The jar of fish blood starts to illuminate a neon yellow.
Does someone want to hold this? Because both of my hands are full.
Mine are as well. So I can't. I've got a shield in my.
I also have an open hand because I'm just carrying my staff right now.
Who has Felix does, and Penelope, did you say that you did? You don't, right? Because you have 2 weapons.
Yeah, I don't. I have 2 swords in my hand.
So I'm going to take the glowy fish blood, but I'm also going to start like realizing that no one else other than me and Ironhammer can see in the dark. I'm going to stand closer to Penelope and Stenwick, casting the light so they can see a little bit better.
Much obliged. Do I see this foot, or did it dip?
You saw nothing. It was just Ironhammer and Felix.
Did you guys say anything out loud?
I said there's a foot in there that could not be attached to something.
I think if we're going to move, we need to move quickly. At this point, they know that we're here. Stealth is kind of a secondary. I mean, if this is someone who witnessed it and is now running, do we hear anything up ahead?
No. Silence.
Well, still, we should try to catch up with whatever this thing is before it alerts others.
I'm going to yell, "You're right," and then I'm going to run in.
You're going to yell.
So you run ahead of the light.
Get immediately
I'm going to run in after him.
Are you guys just running into the dark? I'm going to keep walking casually. I ain't got time for that.
I'm going to also keep walking casually, but still hold the light like a 5-year-old that's dad told him to hold the light, but it's now been yelled at for not holding it in the right spot.
I'm going to slow down and wait for the light to catch up. Big guy, you want just so you can see, just waiting on the rest of us?
I guess, but I thought we had to go in a hurry, so.
I thought we were looking for the foot.
We're looking for the person the foot belongs to.
Well, yeah.
We find the person, we find the foot.
That's not necessarily true.
That's not necessarily true.
I can imagine, I'd hope that the foot is not running away on its own. I like to believe it's attached to a leg, which is attached to a thing.
We've seen some weird shit, man.
To a mouth that's attached to a thing.
True.
Anyway, let's keep moving.
Now with your jar of seeing, you guys can enter. You don't go too far, too deep, maybe only like 15, 20 feet. But you start to notice once you turn the corner to the left, there is another source of light.
Does it seem natural or artificial? In the sense, is it a fire or like a spell, or is it sunlight?
I'll say artificial, and it is brighter than your jar, so you won't need to hold that if you trust this light.
Well, I can see in the dark, so I'm going to hand it back to Stenwick and say, like, if you need this, it's yours, but I feel like I should also have a weapon out, and I'm going to pull out my sling and load a stone into it.
So I can see now with the other light?
Yep, you can see in this cutout, but you don't know what the source is yet.
I'm going to put my light away.
I'm going to yell, "If there's light, I can fight." Then I'm going to run towards the light.
I'm just going to jog after him. Just jog. I don't want to get too far away from everybody else.
Penelope dashing towards this source of light. You come to the end of this alcove, and what you can spot is a glowing semicircle starting from the ground and bubbling up, forming a glowing yellow shield with illuminating sparkles coming off of it. And inside you can see 4 figures.
I swing my sword.
I guess I should have dispelled that.
And like, are people moving inside, or are they just like stagnant in there?
What you can make out, you can't see their faces or any like distinct details, but what you can see is a tall figure standing at the front facing you with two other more slender figures behind sitting down, and then a tiny figure next to them. So 4 people total.
Do the rest of us catch up at this point?
Yeah, you guys can catch up as long as Penelope doesn't dash towards it.
Damn it.
I'm gonna slowly approach it, so they can catch up. Not menacingly either. Like I'm just like kind of casually strolling up.
Swinging your swords as you walk forward. It's murdering time.
Yeah, you can approach and stand a foot away from it. You can have a couple seconds. You knock, but as you'd expect, there's no answer, even though that figure is staring right at you.
Do they look like astrals, or like do we recognize the figures or not?
First, we'll say Stenwick approaches behind. You can line up right next to Penelope. You see the same thing, 4 figures with one taller figure standing in front facing you.
Is he blinking?
You can't tell.
That's fucking creepy, man.
You know, like around the side of the bubble to see if like it moves at all to follow me.
Yeah, you can walk around to the right side, and yeah, just as you'd expect, it follows you with a hand you'd assume on a hilt.
I do not like the magic stuff.
I'm looking for the foot.
Yeah, so Ironhammer and Felix, you guys can turn the corner. You were a couple feet behind. You guys see the bubble and the figures, but you don't know exactly what it is. Since you both saw the foot, you can assume the tiny figure in the back is what you saw.
Okay.
Do we recognize what the tiny figure is, or?
Nope. Same as Penelope and Stenwick. You can't make out any details. You just see almost like the shadow of four people.
I wave at the figures and see if they wave back.
First, Penelope, where are you standing now? Are you still off to the side?
Yeah, I'm still over there.
Ironhammer, the only 3 that saw you were the 2 slender figures and the tiny figure, and they kind of toward each other closer, and you can see them point towards you.
I point back.
I'm going to put my weapons away.
That's what I was going to say. I wanted to put my weapons away.
I want to put
Should I try and dispel this? I mean, it's another 3rd level slot.
No, nothing has attacked us here yet. Maybe we should just see how this plays out first. You know, this could be their call.
I have 3 level spots too, Ian. So if you want to try to dispel it, that's up to you. But
I mean,
is there like any?
I can also dispel magic.
Oh, that's convenient.
Well, listen. This could be the equivalent of just kicking down someone's front door. Let's
we did.
Never stopped us before. So
usually not even the door stopped us.
I'm not going to question your way of doing things, but at the same time, yes, I will question your way of doing things. I think
a ragtag group of adventurers.
If it comes down to it, and if they
are
mean
there any plants inside of the belt bubble?
Any plants?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like grass sprouting from the ground.
I'm going to cast Speak with Plants.
from the other side of the bubble.
Does that use a spell slot?
Yes.
You have just wasted that spell slot.
Shit.
What?
There are plants inside the bubble, but
What?
the bubble is semicircle, closed all the way. You cannot access anything inside of it. However, seeing the 3 figures point out, the larger figure that was shadowing Penelope, you can see him whip his head to the right.
So are there like little pebbles on the ground? Can I just like toss a little pebble at the bubble to see what happens?
Yeah, you can toss a pebble, and it immediately bounces off.
Did the figure turn its head when I cast Speak with Plants? Like it acknowledged that I had cast a spell and it had blocked this spell, or was that unrelated?
The figure did not dispel anything you had to you did. You know it was the bubble itself, and he did whip his head at that and at the pointing. And what happens is it walks out of the bubble. But this large figure walks out. It's got leather boots, gray pants, a white shirt, tall, muscular
Human.
looks to be even taller than Penelope, with strong jaw and brown hair. And Ironhammer and Felix, you guys recognize it's Mop Mop.
Mop Mop.
We're here to help.
I'm gonna run up and give Mop Mop a hug.
Don't attack. What's happening?
What are you doing?
With just a giant smile, he accepts Felix's hug. Guys, what are you two doing?
Where
What are you doing here?
I'm trying to escape. What are you guys doing? Felix, what were you doing? I saw that.
Escape? What?
So what?
I saw you trying to do something with that little magic finger of yours.
Oh, I was trying to talk to the plants inside your bubble. What are you doing in there?
Why are you in a bubble?
You all wait. I'm playing catch up. You all know each other?
Later.
I mean, I'm gonna ignore Stenwick's comment and continue addressing Mop Mop. What were you doing inside the bubble?
Yeah, see, we're not talking to him? Okay, got it. Protection. This is my tiny hut. Not sure if you guys have seen this before, but I did not know what was coming. I'm glad to see you two, but you could do a better job at it.
So your tiny hut. What was the inspiration for your tiny hut?
It's a tiny hut.
To not die.
No, did you have like beads around your neck? Or
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh man, that makes me miss Pete so much.
Around my neck. No, but I do have this. And out of his pocket, he pulls beads.
Straight up fucking anal plug.
Out of his pocket.
Just rips them right out of his ass.
He'll turn to the other two and bow his head and say, hello, sirs. I am Mop Mop. I'm from Cirrus. Your friends here. We've gotten pretty.
Go way back.
Yeah, pretty friendly. How are you two?
Good. I've been hearing a lot about Cirrus lately. It definitely seems like a place I should check out sometime. What are you doing hiding in this cave?
Not sure how much you guys know, but there was an attack on Cirrus just a few weeks ago, and I was lucky enough to escape through the portal to the Hanami Forest. For some reason, Bromnus's hut, that's the one I'd usually use, was not there. I've been trying to protect these three inside the bubble ever since then.
Mama can cast a 3rd level spell. He's pretty strong.
Have you seen these creatures called astrals? I don't know much about them. The other members here have actually seen them in person, but has anything attacked you?
Oh, yeah, yes. Pretty often. That's why we've been pretty much sheltered here.
How far away is the outpost from where we are?
Pretty far. Probably a dozen or so miles.
Well, that's like a half-day journey. We could take you guys back there. That's where we came from, actually.
If you would, that would help me so much. I could not bring these three back myself.
Did they not come through the same portal we did into the Hanami Forest?
Yeah, they would have used that one.
But is there a way to walk where they're at without passing the outpost?
Oh, well, what he'll explain to you is in the midst of the chaos, they were kind of picked off by a couple astrals, so they had to escape before they can make it to the outpost.
Did you not happen to see the portals? I guess they are. There was one south of the outpost. I think it was south. There was a hut. I don't know how else to describe it.
To be honest, I didn't have much time to focus on anything. I mean, there were a crowd of us, and
well, maybe if that's where you guys want to go, we can take you back there, or we can go to the outpost instead. But we were tasked with coming to find you guys, I guess.
I would appreciate that. I haven't seen Bromnus in, a month or so. What are your two names, by the way? I don't think we've met.
Stenwick, Bosper. I'm Crown's Guard from elsewhere.
Well met, Bosper. And you?
I'm Penelope, but you may also know me as Scarlet.
So Mop Mop will smile for a second. An alchemist. Okay. It's nice to see you again, Penelope.
Good to see you too, Mop Mop.
If you guys are ready, I mean, I'd like to get out of here and back to civilization.
Was there any sign of astral around us?
No, inside the alcove, it's just the four of them.
It's just the four of them? Okay. Has these other three, I guess, left the magic hut?
They're still sitting inside.
The things that have been attacking you, do you know where they come from?
From what I have noticed, they've been coming from the far northeast.
How many?
Well, that's where I took a spear from. And I'm going to hold up the spear that was shoved into my chest.
I'm very impressed you're still alive. Yeah, that is one of theirs.
How many were with you when you first got here?
Civilians, there were a bunch of us. I would say probably close to 100.
100?
Most of them were not able to escape, unfortunately. We were bombarded.
How many attacked you? There's only 4, 5 of you left?
Yes, 4 of us. A couple got to the outpost. However, I'd say at least 75 were taken out by a pack of these.
Wow. Is that enough? I guess we could try to be quiet to get back, but we were hunting these things. If they took on 100 of you, I don't know what 4 of us is going to do.
Well, it was 100 pussies.
Hold up. No, sorry. You're hunting them?
I've yet to kill any of my own, but this group here, from what I understand, they've taken on quite a few of them already.
I mean, I'd like to hear about that.
Well, we should be quiet on our way back, but maybe after that. How many hours are we from nightfall?
I'm going to say you've got maybe about 3 or 4 hours, and it was about an 8-hour trip.
We should wait until morning. We can hang out in the cave overnight. I could set up an alarm or something near the door.
We could go back into the magical hut of protection. That's an option too.
Will that be able to house all of us?
Oh yeah, yes. It'll be very tight, but if you guys don't mind, I can throw up another one of those illusions.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Oh no, that's all right. I'm impressed you even noticed.
Very smart dwarf.
Well, how long do these huts stay around?
I had just summoned it when you guys entered, so we've got 8 hours.
Well, I was thinking if we put an alarm or something at the door and they came in, then we can ambush them and take a few out here. And then we at least have the hut to fall back on for protection. But then we risk giving away our position.
Exactly. Do we want to get out fast, or we want to take our chances?
Let's take our chances.
No,
I'm willing to stand of being sneaky.
Yeah, there's definitely benefits to that. I'm a little bit concerned about the armored one there going through the forest quietly.
Quietest dwarf you'll ever see.
And if we're going to be following what DuPont's asking of us, then we're going to have to fight these things sooner or later, right?
I would imagine so. I mean,
I'm going to turn to Stenwick
I still think we should try to talk to him first.
and look him dead in the eyes and say, "You're no longer under DuPont's orders here. You're hanging out with us.
Aren't you also under DuPont's orders? I thought that's why you were doing this job.
We're more in it for the money than for the orders.
Yeah. We're doing this because we want to, not because he told us to.
We're a ragtag group of free spirited individuals.
Yeah, that much I can tell.
If you want to get along with us, I mean, you need to. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that you're not a huge fan of the king yourself. That's why
I am not against the king. I think there's better ways maybe to do certain things, but he's a lot wiser than he seems.
I mean, he seems like a fucking idiot.
Excuse me?
I mean, you were a huge fan of the Astrals, were you not? Or not the Astrals, the Tyrants.
A huge fan? No. It was just Bugsy.
So you weren't fans with the Tyrants? No.
I met some of the other Tyrants in passing, but Bugsy was the only one I knew well.
I thought you knew Petal pretty well, too.
I knew who Petal was. I recognized her when he threw her head at the king's feet.
Touché.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just confused. If not to fulfill the king's order to make money or whatever your justification is, doesn't that mean taking these things out? Isn't that why you're here?
Well, it does, but we shouldn't put innocent civilians at.
No, I understand that. I was just weighing our options.
Mop will look at Stenwick and say, King DuPont, huh? Well, if you're here to help the outpost and clear these astrals, I will be on your side. I don't want to meddle with this relationship, but I will help with whatever I can do.
Sure. I think we should wait here. If you want to throw up that illusion, we can do that. I'm going to throw up my alarm just in case they see past it, and we'll leave at first light tomorrow morning. If that's okay with everybody.
I can dig it.
If that's good with everyone, he will throw up the foliage illusion again. He looks at Ironhammer. These idiot creatures, no one's even noticed. Can you believe it? It's been weeks.
Yeah, man. Dude, the rest of the party didn't even notice. I'm the only one.
Dum-dums.
I know, sometimes it's a burden being this intelligent.
He gives you a high five.
Yeah, I high five him back.
I'm going to cast my alarm spell on the outside of the illusion. That way we at least...
Didn't you just say you don't know much about magic and then you're walking around casting spells?
Well,
Right?
is it kind of a spell? It's kind of a... Derek and I had talked about it. It is technically a spell. It's something that I just keep to myself.
So you're a
I don't know
liar.
much about most magic, but I do know that.
No, I'm suspicious.
Would you guys like to enter the hut, or do we want to just chill out here for a while?
I feel a lot safer inside of the hut.
Let's go in the hut.
He will wiggle his fingers around a bit, magic stuff, and you guys are able to freely enter the tiny hut. And inside you see two human women with a boy in between them. However, the boy's not the same race. He's a hill dwarf.
I say hello to him in Dwarvish.
I'm also going to dress him in Dwarvish and say, "What's up, homie?"
He doesn't put his hand out. He kind of hides between his parents and hello in Dwarvish.
What do you doing stuff with these tall folk?
Yeah.
Also in Dwarvish.
My parents?
I mean,
Wait a minute. Something doesn't add up here.
The one woman will explain. This is Toby. He's our son. We fostered him from Cirrus long ago.
Wasn't
Did she,
Toby the
did she
name?
say that in Dwarvish? Or did you say that in common?
She'll say it in common.
Does she speak Dwarvish? Do you speak Dwarvish?
Yes, she says in Dwarvish.
God damn it.
okay.
They both.
Why does everyone fucking know Dwarvish?
They have a Dwarvish child. One thing I do need to note is somebody needs to make a Felix. You need to make a wisdom.
Is this my child?
The what? Is this me from the future?
7.
So it's a pretty simple thing. So you didn't need a great roll, but Felix, you remember what you said you were going to do whenever you saw a hill dwarf again. Your new welcoming.
Out of character. I don't remember what I said I was going to do when I saw him at the go.
Felix, you must pee on the child.
Do you have notes of everything I've said?
I have notes of everything.
Well, he whips it out.
Well, I guess I'm going to lift my robe.
What are you doing? My child is here.
I'm going to start urinating on the child.
God.
I'm going to say, boy, you don't know your heritage because you've been raised by these tall folk. But this is how we greet one another.
He's just going to look up in a comment and just say, why? Is this what being a hill dwarf is? And he looks at Ironhammer. Sir, is this normal?
It's normal for him.
Will you guys leave that child alone?
I'm going to swing my sling and shoot like a rock. Not hard, but like softly at Stenwick. Just let me know that I don't appreciate it.
You shoot a rocket at Stenwick and it tumbles out onto next to his feet. And you point at him like, yeah, you know what's coming to you. Mop will enter again with handfuls of berries and vegetation. It's not much, but if you guys are hungry, this is what we have for the night.
Thank you, Mop.
Do I recognize any of the vegetation?
Yeah, like I said, berries, mushrooms, everything seems pretty natural.
Felix, being the vegetarian, is going to accept it and start making a delicious soup for everyone else because they're all used to eating meat.
Bust open a bottle of wine.
Oh, I see. We've got a party going on. Hey, Toby. What? Toby, why are you wet? The man over there making the soup. He introduced me to a new greeting. Felix, what's that dwarf greeting that Toby's talking about?
I'm going to piss on his feet.
While you're cooking. True multitasking.
What does the inside of this hut look like?
Mud.
Are we like on top of each other?
The hut. You guys are pretty close. It's only like a 10 by 10.
So we're all getting pissed on.
Basically, everybody's feet are wet. Mom Nub says, "Yeah, I guess Bromnus didn't warn me about that."
Yeah, it's gonna be a long night.
Good thing we got lots of booze.
Is there anything you guys, if there's anything you guys want to discuss?
I'm going to take out the big black metal and ask if Pom Pom knows anything about it.
No, I mean I recognize it as that's the same metal from the objects that hit Sirius, isn't it?
Yeah. I tried to make a sword out of it, but it didn't work.
Were you able to make anything out of it?
Well, I prayed really hard and nothing happened.
Oh yeah, that's how you guys like to do, huh?
That is how we do. That do be how we do.
Have you guys been sleeping in shifts, or are you comfortable enough with the hut to just sleep through the night?
I am comfortable enough to sleep through the night. I don't know if you guys have any experience with this, but we are pretty much impenetrable for the next 8 hours.
Well, if it's 8 hours, I think we should have some shut-eye and make sure that we wake up tomorrow as rested as possible. We're going to have a long day ahead of us, I feel.
Felix, you serve the group of 8 now. Pretty nice wild mushroom soup, and you can all head to bed pretty early. We'll say it gets to be about midnight or so, about halfway through the hut's duration. And Stenwick, your alarm goes off.
Shit. Hey, everybody up. Something just tripped the alarm outside.
Okay. Have you noticed anything?
What was that noise that he just made?
That's Mop waking up.
Sounded like he was choking on his own tongue.
I was.
I should backtrack. Did it just go off once, or is it going off multiple times as if there are multiple things triggering it?
It's going off intermittently, not like a same interval, but it seems to just be one ring every few minutes or so.
This is going to get annoying. I'm not going to wake everyone, but I am going to wake up Mop and let him know that something's going off outside. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of them. I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
All right. I'd imagine there is wildlife out there, but I don't know exactly what it could be.
Yeah. So what I didn't think of was every time something sets off this alarm, it like rings in my head, And I've heard this thing go off like 20 fucking times in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's good for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to hear this thing go off all night.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good night.
you too, Stenwick.
Yeah.
Cut to about 2 hours later. It's about 2 a.m. It's still gone off about a dozen more times.
I'm just staring up at the ceiling. Motherfucker.
This time, however, even though the sound is lodged into your brain, it is going ding, 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 ding.
Okay. I wake everyone up.
Don't wake me up unless it's real.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. It's going ding, ding, ding. Oh my God, I'm so tired.
That's true. You probably didn't get the benefits of a long rest.
There are a lot of things out there right now, and I think that we should be prepared just in case.
Check with me, or should we wait it out?
Well, we're all awake now, aren't we?
Yes.
Felix is still fast asleep.
Can you tell when something goes through your illusion?
Physically, I can't, but we can look at it and tell if something is entering.
After we leave, we can come back, right? If we leave the hut, we can we watched you do it earlier.
Yes.
I think one or two of us should go, preferably two, just in case, and just take a look.
All right. If you're ready, I can head out with you.
Yeah, I'm going to turn to everyone else. We're going to be back in about 3 minutes. If we're not back in 3 minutes, then it ain't good.
Okay.
Is the tiny hut a concentration spell?
No. It's just a 1 minute casting time, and then it's good for 8 hours.
Let's go, I guess. Can we see through the illusion from the other side, or do we have to pass through it in order to see what's out there?
That's a good question, because I'd imagine he can, but you might not be able to.
I mean, all you have to do is describe. We only need one person to see through there, so, I mean, I can go as your backup.
I should be able to see through. If you just give me one moment, you guys can exit the hut and kind of round the corner.
Okay, I got my shield and crossbow out.
He'll continue walking forward. Looks pretty clear for now.
Is my alarm still going off?
It stopped for a second. I mean, I don't notice anything yet.
Okay, let's wait here for just a minute because it was really going crazy just a minute ago.
He will walk up closer to the illusion.
Not too much closer. Just enough to get a view.
And your alarm starts going off again.
Okay, I look in the direction of where I said it.
You see a little bit of rustling. Oh, look at that. It's just a little chungy. Just walking around. How's it going, little guy?
Wait, don't fucking talk to it.
What? Why not?
What are you doing?
Well, he's just hanging out here.
Yeah, we're not going to give away our position.
What do you mean? He's fine. Look at him. Starts jumping around a little bit.
So wait, so I set my alarm on the other side of the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Did this thing react to Mop talking to it?
It's like curious. It can hear, but it cannot see.
Mop, I don't want you to make another word unless you see something that's scary. But just keep an eye open. Don't say anything else.
Fine. All right. I'll come back. Do you want to roll me a dexterity?
17.
Mop starts walking back. As he starts walking, you hear a yelp. Mop flicks his head back around and says, "Go back. Run." As two spears enter through the illusion, you see it pop away for a second. You can see the darkness outside as Mop just barely ducks a spear, and one hits your shield.
Shit. Okay, I'm running.
Get in the hut.
I am going to throw my oil of slipperiness toward the entrance, like to cover our tracks. And then if something chases after us, that maybe they'll slip.
Yeah, you can throw it right inside the entrance, right behind the foliage. You guys can enter the hut again. He'll say, I think they might have seen through that illusion now. Sorry.
What did you see?
I didn't see anything. I saw 3 spears and a dead chungy.
I'm just going to have us take a seat and keep an eye outside of the bubble.
Do you guys, anything you want to prepare for? You know there's things outside.
What time is it?
There's things outside, but they haven't broken the...
They have not broken in yet, and it is about 3 a.m.
So I'm assuming no spell slots back.
Oh, I would say you guys got a short rest.
But we don't really know what's coming, right? I mean, we just know the spears, but we don't know how many.
And just judging by what's being said by Mop and Stenwick, we can gather that it's astrals coming towards us.
Yes, based off the spears.
I guess I'll cast... No, I'm just kidding. I won't cast anything yet. Actually, I'll turn on my mace with a bonus action.
Do I
What was
see
the magic word for that?
I don't even remember.
Hullabaloo!
Hullabaloo!
Do I notice anything down this cave? Any movement?
Yeah, I'm going to say no. You have not noticed anything. You dropped the slipperiness on the ground, but no one has entered.
What's my alarm doing?
It has gone off a few times. You know it's not the chungy anymore. So there is something you'd imagine skulking around.
What do you guys want to do?
I think our plan was to try and talk to them.
To talk to them? They just threw a bunch of spears at us.
Yeah, but we don't know why.
Haven't you guys killed several of them already?
One. Well, one here. These ones are quite smart. These ones were much more intelligent than the ones we've seen before, so it might be worthwhile to try and communicate with them before just murdering them. And if that doesn't work, then we'll murder them. But
So how do you want to go about trying to communicate with them?
well, I can cast tongues, but I've got to touch them. So if there's a way we could restrain one somehow.
Yeah. Mama, are we able to bring one more creature into this bubble?
I don't think there's children in the bubble. What if we can't? And if he murders a child?
Sure, but if let's say we fight it out there and we tie it up and then we bring it back in here.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah. I can allow any creature inside.
Yeah, why don't we try to get one of the things, capture it, bring it back here?
Yeah, I can make a slime potion that would make it so that he can't really break free. So we don't have to worry about trying to tie him up.
Yeah, we'll take anything we can get. A couple of us can go out and lure some in here, and we can plan an ambush for him and then drag one of them back in. If that's the way you guys want to do it.
I think it's worth a try.
Okay. Mop, do you want to come back out with me? You're the only one who can see through the illusion. We can just peer around the corner and try to get one of their attention.
Yes. I can't see too well, but I can at least give you an idea.
So just because make sure I'm tracking this, we want to communicate with them, but you're okay with us if we lure some in here and kill a couple and leave one living, that's okay?
As long as the family is safe.
Well, what about you guys? What do you think? Because if you want to try to negotiate with these things, I'm not sure if killing a bunch of them from the onset is really the way we want to go about it. Although I guess they've killed plenty of their own.
Interrogate.
Are we
Torture.
considering these things humanoid?
They seem intelligent.
Yeah, you could consider them humanoid.
In the sense that, like, hold person would affect them?
Yeah. In the sense that, like, they're not human, but they are of that nature. But yeah, that would affect them.
Okay. So I can literally cast a spell and paralyze one of them. So we can kill the rest of them as long as I can cast hold person on one of them.
How long?
But it's also a concentration spell. So if I cast that, we're fucking, like, that's got to be our last thing we do.
Concentration for how long?
Up to 1 minute.
Okay, that'll give Penelope enough time to do what he needs to do, right? I hope.
I can also cast command on one if we need to.
Okay. Well, maybe we can do that. If we lure a couple in, you can command one of them just to leave the cave. It's one fewer that we have to worry about killing.
I mean, I could command one. I could command one to enter the bubble. Can it? If it's in the bubble, can it leave? If you don't let it leave,
It can enter when Mop gives it permission, and that it can also leave whenever it wants to.
okay. So we can't like trap it in there.
No. It's like a safe haven thing.
Right. Got it.
Well, whatever we're doing, we might want to do it quick. We don't know how many of these things are staging out there. We should try to keep some people right next to the bubble in order to retreat back there if need be. And I mean, on top of that, we're going to need some other plan to get out of here in case it goes to shit and then our 2-hour limit expires.
You know what? Do you think these things understand common?
No, you've tried it before.
Turns out I can't command them if they don't understand my language.
Yeah, I was gonna leave that as a surprise. Well, Mop will go over to the family, put his hands on top of theirs and say, "Stay safe. I'll be back." He will nod to them and exit the bubble.
Baba, you can stay with them. All we need you to do is remove the illusion so we can see outside. I mean, these things already know that we're here, so you can stay back and keep the family protected. Be the last line in case anything gets past us.
If you're sure, yeah. Just let me know when you're ready for me to get rid of the illusion.
These people can't lose you. They need you.
Thank you.
How far from the illusion? You can drop it from here, right?
Yes.
I think the rest of us should just be around the corner. The illusion gets dropped. I fire out a couple crossbows. We'll see how many, a couple bolts. We'll see how many we can draw in. We'll take out a couple, and then we just leave one remaining.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do we have any kind of Hail Mary play, like in the event, like a last ditch kind of taking as many as we can with them kind of deal? Any way that we can collapse this tunnel?
Felix has bombs.
Yeah, I have bombs.
It's also not really a tunnel, is it? It's more like would we be able to collapse it? I don't know. I think it was like a tunnel, more so just sort of like an opening.
Yeah, there like Andrew said, there's room to collapse it, but it's going to be very tight.
Right. Okay.
So if you have bombs, then that might be our last ditch effort, where if there's too many of them and we need to seal ourselves off, then we'll just pray.
I mean, if worst comes to worst, I can summon one beast that has 450 XP.
I'm not sure what that means.
I can summon a dragon.
You can summon a dragon?
Who said you could summon a dragon?
That doesn't sound like a level 2 difficulty.
I can summon a black dragon wormling.
That's not the same thing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Or a fairy dragon.
All right, yeah, if we're ready,
That's not nearly the same thing.
let's do this then.
Felix is going to put away his staff of life and pull out the spear that had been pulled out of his feathery breast menacingly, because I'm going to return the favor. Assuming that one of these things threw that spear at me as an eagle.
All right, yeah, if you guys are ready, Mop can dispel the illusion.
I want us to get up to Mop. Wait until we get up to the corner, and then as soon as we have the entrance of the tunnel in view, drop it.
Okay, got it.
I'm prepping my crossbow, got my shield out. So what do we see? First of all, has my alarm been going off this whole time?
It is silent right now. Well, it has been silent for a while. You'd imagine there's nothing directly outside. Are you ready for the illusion?
Yes.
Okay.
Drop that beat, bitch.
As it drops, I am shaking up my one of my jars of the fish blood, and I'm just chucking it out of the entrance because it's dark out, so I can't see anything. So I'm gonna throw it out to the entrance so I can get a view of what could be coming inside.
Roll me an dexterity quick.
8.
Mop drops the illusion. The foliage immediately disperses, and Stenwick, you toss the jar of glowing blood. However, it hits a tree in front of you, maybe about 30 feet out, and explodes. However, it does not look like you hit one of your targets.
Unfortunate. If you guys see something, call it out. I don't have a very good view of what's happening in front of me right now.
Do we want it to be light out?
Not in the tunnel, but if we can make it light out there, that'd be awesome.
Don't cast flaming spear.
I have a spell called Daylight.
Wait to cast it until we see a couple of them in the cave, and then we'll cast it and then use their surprise as our advantage.
So for 1 hour, I can make it daylight within 60 feet of us. And then like past 60 feet, it's like nighttime light. Like it's dim light.
And you all, did anybody step out, or are you all still around the corner?
Yeah, we're
still around the corner.
How far is the entrance?
The entrance to you is about 10 feet.
Yeah, that's perfect. I don't want to go actually outside of the cave.
And since you're still around the corner, a couple moments pass, almost complete silence, and then Stenwick, your alarm goes off.
Hey, something's moving out there. Do you guys see anything?
Do we see anything?
Felix and Ironhammer, you guys can see a shadowy figure coming around to the left side, as well as the bushes on the right are moving, but there is nothing coming towards you.
Does the shadowy figure look like an astral, or does it look like a chungy?
It looks like another child. No, it's an astral. You can tell.
It's definitely an astral.
Yeah, you can't make out details, but based off the silhouette, you'd imagine that's what it is.
I can definitely see this shadowy figure.
Yeah, it's kind of like lurking to the left.
I'm gonna whip the spear at it.
If we're doing that, I'm gonna have you all roll initiative.
18.
Where's my dice rolly thingy? 4.
16.
That's 20 plus.
Felix, if you can roll me an attack with the spear.
4.
Yeah, since you don't really have an exact position of this creature. You see the shadow, but you end up throwing it, and unfortunately aiming where it once was, as the spear zooms out of your hand and lodges itself in a tree about 20 feet behind where this creature was. So to start us would be Penelope.
How close is it to me?
As far as you know, it's right outside, so about 15 feet.
All right, I'm going to jump out of the circle.
And we've since left the hut.
Yeah, so you'd be jumping out from the corner into like the main entrance of the alcove.
Okay. Yep, I'm going to do that.
And he's going to run out of the cave.
And then, yeah, with my movement speed, I'm going to try and make my way towards the nearest astral that Felix threw the sphere at and try to attack it.
Yeah, you can make your way right up to it. It was not expecting you, so you can roll to hit.
So I'm taking with the dildo sword and the other sword. So I get 2 attacks. So 19 and 12 to hit.
19 hits.
And 16.
With your dildo sword, you are able to slash it across the chest as it emits a yelp and will take a step back. So far, it's the only one you've noticed, but you are directly in front of it. Next up is Stenwick.
I'm going to break cover and go close enough to where this thing, I can now see it because I couldn't see it before. And Penelope just kind of ran into the dark. So I'm going to get close enough to see it, and then I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark. And just for my action, I'm going to scan the rest of the area around to see if there's any more.
Stenwick, you're able to see a red dot on this creature's forehead, so you know which one you have marked. You don't see anything to the left, just that one, and then off to the right, similar to Felix, you can see movement in the brush.
Do I have time to yell something?
Yeah, I'd say so. While you're looking,
light it up.
Of all the things you could fucking yell, that's what you yell.
Yeah. I meant light it up like daylight. Daylight it up.
I was gonna say next up is your turn, Felix.
Lightning spear.
So do you want me to make it fucking bright, or do you want me to conjure 4 fucking bears to help us fight these things?
I want to be able to see.
Okay. Well, judging by the vague statement that was yelled by this guy that I don't entirely like.
We were just talking about, I would say, when to do daylight.
4 bears.
I'm going to cast
cave.
daylight.
4 bears, 1 cave.
I cast 4 bears.
It'd be cool if that was the actual. It's just the spell name. Just 4 bears.
4 bears. I'm going to cast daylight.
What point are you focusing on?
So can I set it as so there's that can I see the red dot that Stenwick put on the forehead of this other?
No, it's only me.
Not the red dot, but you can see the creature.
Oh, I can see that. Then I'm just gonna cast daylight on that point. So from 60 feet out from that point, it's bright, and then an additional 60 feet. So in theory, Stenwick and Penelope can see 120 feet from that point. So it looks like I basically put a fucking sun in the middle of this battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, in an instant, Penelope and Stenwick, you guys have to shield your eyes. It's so bright in front of you. But you can see lit up is this one of those astrals with some armor on it and weapons, tools, and it has a pretty giant gash across its chest to stomach area. Looking around, you can see the tree with the glowing yellow blood that Stenwick threw at it, as well as 2 figures in the brush to the right.
As a bonus action, since I already threw my spear, can I draw my regular staff, not my staff with the berries hanging on it?
Where are we in relation to the grease, by the way?
You are right behind it. Penelope, I'd say, kind of crossed around it since he knew it was there. Next up is our first astral. Penelope does a 14 hit. No. So what happens is you can see now, and what you notice is a giant net heading straight towards you. However, thanks to the sunlight, you're able to duck it and not get caught in this trap. Oh, and sorry, that came from the brush. Next up is the one right next to Penelope with a 17 to hit.
Is he within 5 feet of me?
Yeah, you'd be right behind them.
I'm going to use my reaction protection while wielding a shield, and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. You can use your reaction to oppose disadvantage on the attack roll. So I'm going to try to block it with my shield.
Unfortunately, that was a 17, no matter what.
Oh, it rolled 2 17s?
It rolled a 17 and like a 25.
Oh, motherfucker.
So Penelope, you will take, with its wrist blade, it will slice across your left arm. You will take 8 points of damage. And then next up is Ironhammer for your first turn.
I guess actually we wouldn't have to restrain at first. I could just run up and touch it and cast tongues, and then try to command it my next turn. And that lasts an hour, so it's not like we're gonna run out of time. Yeah, I'm gonna run up to the closest astral, wherever he may be, and attempt to touch him centrally and cast tongues. Stroke his cheek.
Yeah, let's do a combating strength roll.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. My strength, 14.
Oh, that same here. Same with the astral.
Who does it go to?
Simultaneous. Or whoever's dexterity modifier is higher.
Oh, that's definitely not. I have a 0 dexterity modifier.
Or it was strength. What was your?
Oh, my strength's +2.
Here's what's gonna happen. You can cast touch. You can run up to it, avoiding the slippery trap. It can see you coming at it, so it tries to jump back. You're able to get a touch on it, on its chest before it jumps back, and you fall over.
Shit.
You're now on the ground.
I always fall over. Was the spell successful?
As far as you know, whatever happened with the spell is what caused you to fall. It wasn't the strength of this creature.
Okay.
It's almost like you touched it, the spell happened, and then a concussion grenade basically went off.
Do I have any more movement left? Can I use my movement to stand up?
Yeah, you'd have time for that. You were only about 15 feet away.
Okay, then I stand up. Then I guess I don't really have anything else to do. I say, hey, to see if it understands me. hey, stop it.
It says no.
Does it?
No.
Does it just sound like the shrine? And I guess that's my turn. Yeah.
Okay, it is now the last astral's turn. Ironhammer does a 20 hit.
It does not.
Are you shitting me?
AC's like 21.
My AC is 21, yeah.
Oh my god.
He's a fucking tank, bro.
The only way
what I'm here
to fuck him up is dexterity saving throws.
Oh.
I'm here. I'm here to
Just don't ask him to climb.
get smacked. Just don't ask me to climb anything, or be stealthy. But if you need a tiny metal ball, I'm your guy.
Similar to Stenwick's shield, a spear gets thrown straight at you, but bounces off your chest armor.
Can I flex when it hits?
Yeah, of course. Also, question for you. How far are you out of the alcove? Are you hugging the side, or are you like in the middle of the field?
That depends where the astral was.
It was on the side.
Then I'm on the side as well, because I ran over there to touch it.
Okay, got it. Back up to Penelope.
I'm going to do the same thing and just try to hit it with both of my swords again. So 17 and 18.
They both hit.
How's this thing looking?
It's still pretty good.
How's it looking now there, Ty?
So there is 19, and as a bonus action, I am going to use Fiery Shackles. So when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can evoke this spell to summon Fiery Shackles. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained for 1 minute, taking 2d6 fire damage at the start of each of its turns.
What kind of saving throw was it?
Strength saving throw has to be 15.
19. This thing is looking, I'll say, weathered now, as it takes another slash across the chest. Next up is Stenwick.
As a bonus action, I transfer my hunter's mark to one of the ones that are shooting at us from, like, the bushes.
Yeah, what I'm going to say is currently there is only one you can see in the bush. The third one has disappeared.
That's fine. I'm going to do the one that I can see, and then I'm going to shoot at it with my crossbow. 27 to hit.
Yeah.
10, 13 points of damage.
Yeah, you can get this thing in the shoulder. It stumbles back for a second, and it also disappears.
I have Hunter's Mark, so I know exactly where it is.
And you can sense it is going to the left.
Okay. I'm just going to keep an eye open for it. As my movement, I'm going to attempt to take cover somewhere. I don't want to leave the cave.
Oh, you want to? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll say there's a couple of boulders piled up in near the inside of the alcove.
Yeah, I'll take cover behind one of those.
Next up is Felix.
I'm going to cast Conjure Animals. So you summon face spirits that take the form of beasts and appear in unoccupied spaces that you can see within range. Choose one of the following options that appear. So I'm going to choose four beasts of a challenge rating of 1/2 or lower. So that is 4 black bears. So the summoned creatures are friendly to you and your companions. So I roll for initiative on the summoned creatures as a group, and they have their own turn. They obey any verbal commands that you issue to them, and that requires no action from me. If you don't issue any commands, they defend themselves from hostile creatures, but otherwise take no action. The DM has control of their statistics.
AC 11, HP 19.
Yep, I've got a page pulled up. I just need the initiative roll for them.
So all 4 bears are going to attack in one group. It's a 10.
Okay, so Felix, you are still inside, correct?
I'm still technically behind the corner. All I did was summon I summoned the daylight. I drew my staff. Now I've summoned the bears, and with a bonus action, I'm going to cast Sharia Law.
We haven't seen that one in a while.
Yep, it's been a while.
So your staff glows a sickening green color as Stenwick, behind your cover, there are now 4 black bears staring at you.
What the fuck?
But they're friendly. They're not scary in Stenwick.
He told me that he was going to do this, but I was not prepared.
All right, so next up, Stenwick, the astral that you've been tracking. It's coming around left. You can sense that.
Okay.
After its movement, Penelope with a 20 to hit, it is going to slash at you, similar to its companion, dealing 10 points of damage. These 2 are now directly in front of you. Next up is Felix's black bears.
So issuing the verbal command of attack, I'm going to just have them, if they can see, so they can see because of the light, the closest astral, I guess so we assuming that all 4 black bears attack as once?
Yeah, I think
All by bears.
I think that'd make it easier.
So 4 bears are going to attack 1 astral. Ideally, it'd be the one with the slash across his chest, but I'll let you decide that, whichever one's closest.
Yeah, it would be that one. What I'm going to say is probably roll 4 different attacks, though.
4 different attacks, so 4 different D20s?
4 different D20s to hit. But we're gonna act as it's one attack.
So the first one was a nat 20. Second was any kind of a plus with it.
Yeah, they get a +2.
So the second one is a 14. Third one is a 5. Fourth one is a not 19, so 21.
And then if you can roll me damage for 2 of them.
With
it would be a 1d6 +2. I'll double that one once you roll it.
14 is the first one.
And then the second one
is a 2.
Like a bat out of hell, the first black bear just charges this thing, knocks it on its ass.
What does it sound like? Okay.
It bites its neck, dealing 14 points of damage. The other 2 just completely miss. They roll over on themselves, and the last one jumps up on top and claws at its chest, dealing an additional 2 points. This thing is looking very bloodied. Next up is actually that one. It's actually going to use turn to stand up and turn invisible.
Which one's turning invisible?
The one that has already been mauled, not the one with the hunter's mark. And next up is Ironhammer.
Well, presumably, I'm going off the assumption that I cast tongues on this guy. And now that I've actually cast tongues on him, I could command him. Wait, are people still in the bubble?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn. I guess I shouldn't put him in the bubble then.
Stop being invisible.
Wait, is he the one that turned invisible or the one that I cast tongues on?
Yes, he just turned invisible.
God damn it. Do I need to be able to see him to cast tongues on him? Yes, I do. God damn it.
But you already casted tongues on him, so
Yeah, but I can't command him unless I can see him.
And it wasn't a full tongue anyway. It was like a half tongue.
Only a half tongue. Only a little lick. I'm going to hold my action for now. For when, as soon as the astral becomes visible again, I'm going to cast command on it and command it to just freeze, just stop. No movement, no actions.
Got it. The third astral becomes visible again. That is a 20 to hit, and it is going to focus on Ironhammer since he is standing outside. Yeah, it's going to chuck a spear, but again, glances off your armor. Just not hard enough to be able to hit. At that moment, you can see the invisible one become visible again in the brush directly in front of you. Ironhammer, you cast command. However, nothing happens.
God damn it.
Next up is Penelope.
He didn't get the full tongue.
Needs the full tongue.
Needs the full tongue.
There's just one in front of me now.
Just that one in front of you, yep.
So as a bonus action, I am going to cast Giant's Might. I become large in size. I get advantages on strength roll, and my weapon does an extra d6. So I am going to attack the one with both swords. Nat 20, so 27, and 24.
Did you really get a nat? God. Yeah, they both definitely hit.
That's 34 with the first one. What one does the 1d6 go towards then? The extra 1d6, or does that just total?
I'm going to say total, yeah.
50 points of damage.
Oh. This thing is not dead, but you are able to, I'm picturing you just pierced it. It's like shish kebabbed. You can pull
Like pierce it, yeah.
Yeah, like that, and then pull him back out. It is flat on the ground. It's still breathing, but not by much. Next up is Stenwick.
Okay, so we have the one that he just kicked the shit out of, which is the one that I had switched my hunter's mark over to.
Yep.
Right? And then the original one is running away.
Yep, in the middle of the brushes by that tree.
And then there's a third one that just made itself visible.
To your right, yes.
So as a bonus action, I'm going to again switch my hunter's mark over to the one I had previously attacked, the one who's hurt and running. So I'm going to go after him. Natural 28 and 9 points of damage. But then I'm going to burn my action surge and take another shot. 23, and that's for an additional 8 points of damage.
With the first shot, as it's running away, you basically paralyze it, hitting it in the back. And as it drops down with its hands to its side, you pop it again in the back of the head, splitting it open, and it falls down dead.
Nice.
Felix?
So this is the one that's already been mauled by my bears that's dead?
Yeah, that one, Stenwick just killed.
Can we see the other two?
Yeah, you can see both. The one is directly on the ground in front of Penelope, and the other one is to the right.
So there's one prone?
Yes.
What's the distance between me and that one?
Oh, not far at all. Maybe like 15 feet.
I'm going to run up, jump in the air, and try to fucking slam down on it with my my staff that has Sharia law on it. So do I need to roll the hit since it's prone or not?
Yeah, with advantage.
So it'll be a 11.
You run out from out of the alcove and go to slam this thing, but you somehow miss, surprised by Penelope's giant size now. Next up are your black bears.
directing my black bears towards the one that's taken damage. I'm going to tell him to rip its throat out.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll just advantage one time.
So it would be 16.
Yep, yeah, that hits. Yep, and then damage.
7.
Yeah, 28 points total. I mean, these bears just rip this thing to shreds, spraying its acidic blood around the black bears. They burn a little bit.
Do they take any damage?
No damage currently. They kind of realize before it's too late. Next up is Ironhammer.
There's only one left, right? Well, I'm out of things to do that don't involve killing it. Are we killing it now? No. Well, if we're still trying to capture it, I don't really have anything I can do that doesn't involve just smacking it. So I guess I'll try and grapple it. I'm going to wrestle him.
Okay. Roll me a hit and add your strength.
That would be a 21.
Yeah. You're able to get a hold of this thing. How do you want to hold it?
Just full Nelson.
Okay.
if I can reach that high.
Dashing towards it. First, what it's going to do is try to throw a spear at you since you're running towards it, but it misses somehow your stubby body. You can get behind it, kick its knees out, and get it into a full Nelson. So you're standing, but it's on its knees with its hands behind its back.
And that's it. That's my turn.
So next up, before this astral goes, first Ironhammer with a 22 to hit. That hits, right?
That hits.
Okay. You take 25 points of damage.
Fucking hell. What hit me?
As a plasma bolt shoots from above the alcove in the ferns that Penelope saw earlier.
What? Ouch.
You still have this thing grappled, but you took that damage. Next up, it's the Astral's turn. It doesn't squirm away. Ironhammer, right now you hear a beeping.
Beeping? I was gonna like blow up or something.
Next up, it is back up to Penelope.
Beeping.
What do we register as beeping? Like what in this world have we heard before that we can associate with beeping?
Trip would remember it from Illuminate.
Ironhammer's the one that heard it. So is he just hearing a random noise, or does he associate it with it as a beeping noise? So what does he associate it with?
I mean, explosive. It's an explosive, yeah.
Top knot stuff maybe could beep.
That's what I was alluding to, the explosive in Illuminate.
Okay.
And yeah, Penelope, it's your turn.
Well, would Ironhammer be able to disengage? Would he have to wait for his turn?
He'd have to wait for his turn.
And that's the one that he's grappling with. That's the only one that's left.
I mean, besides whatever just shot from above now.
Can I use this turn to try? Did I see where the lightning bolt or the plasma bolt came from?
Yes, from the sunlight that Felix provided, you can tell there is another astral in the foliage above. You can see its figure in the brush.
Would I be able to shoot at it with my crossbow?
You could take a shot if you wanted, yeah.
Oh, I would. Okay. So 15 plus 5, 20.
Yep, that hits.
And 11 points of damage.
All right, what I'm going to say is it was not expecting to be hit. It didn't see too much range from you guys. So you hit this thing, I'll say, in its right leg. It takes 11 points of damage, and it falls off the top of the alcove directly in front of the entrance, taking a couple more points. It's still pretty healthy, though. Next up is Stenwick.
Okay, I'm going to transfer my hunter's mark from the dead astral to the one that had just fallen, and I'm going to run over to it and yell over to everyone else as I'm running. Take it to the bead. Get to the chopper.
To the chopper.
And I'm going to take a shot at it while I'm moving, I guess. Well, okay. So it's up to you because this will kind of determine what I'm doing. So it's currently prone.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean I get disadvantage on the ranged attack since it's prone?
I'm going to say no, just because you're on the ground also.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I'm just going to shoot at it. 21.
Yep.
And just 5 points. I'm sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage.
And this is your crossbow?
Yeah, still.
Yeah, you hit this thing in its left leg now. It yelps. I mean, you busted both of its legs.
Get inside.
Next up is Felix.
So this thing is basically immobile,
Yeah. They took out both of its legs.
and the other one is grappling with Ironhammer.
Yeah, Ironhammer has it grappled and it is beeping.
Would it take an action for me to put away my staff and pull out my sling?
I'll just allow that.
Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna take out my staff. I'm gonna put away my staff, pull out my sling, and try to whip a stone at the one that is beeping.
Okay.
You hit Ironhammer.
If you can roll me a hit.
You should have advantage on that too, right? Because it's restrained. Is that how that works?
Oh, yeah. You do have it grappled. Yeah, advantage.
I needed it. It's a nat 19, but it ends up being 20.
Yep, that hits.
2 points of damage.
Yeah, this thing's pretty healthy. It does almost nothing, but you are able to get it in its forehead, and it slinks down. Ironhammer, if you're willing, you can let it drop to the ground.
Does it continue beeping?
Yes.
Does everybody hear the beeping now?
Yeah, everybody can hear it, and it will fall to the ground. Ironhammer, it's your choice if you want to keep a hold of it. But next up is the black bears.
Is it prone still?
Yeah, it's on the ground.
I'm gonna send the black bears to rip it apart.
Okay.
Because I mean, we already have one immobilized, so we might as well kill the one that's beeping, because that's kind of sketch.
Yeah, if you want to roll one hit with advantage.
Nat 20.
Okay, and then damage.
4.
They will launch themselves at this prone astral. However, it is still pretty healthy, so they dig at it, but after getting through the armor, they only deal about 25 points of damage. It still continues to beep. Ironhammer, what do you want to do next?
I will release the beast. Where's the other guy that fell?
Right in front of the entrance to the alcove.
How far away is that from me?
10 feet.
Can I just push the beeping astral onto that guy and then run away?
You'd have to drag him.
I will attempt to do so.
Okay. Roll strength.
17.
Yeah, you can drag it directly on top because that thing's still prone. Its legs are basically broken.
Cool. I put the astral on top of his broken legs, and then I run away.
So it's up to Penelope now.
How far away are they both from where I'm at?
Pretty close, within 5 feet.
I throw my adhesive slime at both of them. Want me to roll to hit for anything?
Yeah, you can roll with advantage. Dexterity.
19.
Penelope, you uncork your vial, tossing the green liquid at the two prone astrals, one with broken legs, the other with constant beeping on its sternum. Once the liquid hits the creatures, it immediately becomes viscous and traps them in a green slime. You can still hear the beeping. It's a little dull, but they currently will not be able to move.